the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Boy, oh boy, we have some very differing opinions here.
Wow, that is I'll go ahead and go since I have them at number 1. I don't think Baker Mayfield is going to have that problem of being inconsistent because in the 6 years that Baker Mayfield has been in the league, the dude has had 8 coaches. Mm-hmm. He had Hugh Jackson in 2018. Greg Williams is the interim in 2018. Freddie Kitchens in 2019. Kevin Stefanski in 2021 in 2020 through 2021. Matt Rule when he went to Carolina. Steve Wilkes in Carolina. Sean McVay when he literally had the playbook for 3 days, came in and beat the Raiders. Torque, I'm sorry, I just had to throw that in there. And then Todd Bowles. So for 4 NFL teams, 3 of them in the past 2 years, the dude has had 8 different coaches. I can't really put all the blame on him. And, dude's finally had some consistency and he looked good in Tampa. Yes, there were some struggles that the man had, but you gotta look at the talent that he's got, man. Rachaad White and Bucky Irving at running back. That's an amazing 1-2 combo. Also, shout out to Bucky Irving for going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's just fate right there. Mike Evans, the only player not the only player, but the only player to have 1,000 yards in each of his 10 seasons. Dude is a Hall of Famer just waiting to retire. Like dude's going to be in the Hall of Fame and he's probably going to have another 1,000-yard receiving season just because that's what he does. You got Chris Godwin. You got newly drafted Jalen McMillan in the 3rd round. Tight end room, Cade Otton, Payne Durham. That's a great tight end room. Offensive line, Tristan Wirfs to protect your left tackle after he just got that big paycheck. Beautiful. Graham Barton to play for your center. Beautiful. Cody Mock is your right guard. It needs some work, but you have had problems with your guards since Tom Brady, and they're finally getting addressed. The interior O-line is actually getting addressed, something that the Jets should have done. But it's getting addressed. It's young, but it's better than what it was before. So that O-line is going to be good. Defense, yes, I agree. There are some problems in defense, but you just got back Jordan Whitehead after he took off and played for the Jets for the 1 year and then came back. You've got the number 1 safety, Antoine Winfield Jr. Yes, I said it. Number 1 safety in the league.
ECG overall, perfect score.
Perfect score. It was beautiful. It was perfect. You're hoping you could see something from 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀, but you've got Vita Vea as your nose tackle. You got Yaya Diaby, which you didn't really see much last year, but he's coming, he's looking a bit better. Levante David, you kind of already know what's happening there. That's just your staple at defense. So yes, defense is a bit worrisome, but this is a good team. This is a team that has stability that they haven't had since Brady left, which I know, wasn't a long time. But even last year, when people thought they were going to be one of the worst teams, they made it to the divisionals in the playoffs. And I mean, they've got a rough schedule in the beginning, but they can kind of turn it around. They start off with Washington. That should be a win. Detroit. Who knows what Detroit could look like? It could be a coin flip. Denver, Philly, I think they could beat Philly. I think they'll split with Atlanta. New Orleans, I think they're going to sweep. Spoiler alert, I don't think New Orleans is going to be that good this year. Leading up to their bye week is a bit tough because you got KC and San Fran, but then after that, Giants, Carolina, Vegas, Chargers, you know what they'll look like by this time of the year. Dallas, you know what they're going to look like by the time of the year. And then they're going to close off with Carolina and New Orleans at home. I can't see the 5-12.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. I mean, part of it is like Baker Mayfield is going to be able to will you 2 games, right? I know there's this meme of like the cycle of Baker Mayfield of everyone believes he's great, then he does terrible, right? Like, but Baker Mayfield can will you to some wins, and I think that the addition of Bucky Irving in the backfield I mean, I could see him taking over for Rachaad White.
Dante and I were losing
back.
our minds when that draft pick happened.
Bucky Irving going to them is a perfect fit because he's going to bring efficiency and pass catching ability to this offense that is going to take attention away from the stud receivers of Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, but also it's going to leave room for Jalen McMillan to cook as a wide receiver 3. The problem with the offense this past year was that they were dead last in rushing yards and dead last in yards per carry at 3.4 yards per carry, which is abysmal as a team. So, look, Rachaad White was the lead back.
Which is really weird because Rachaad White was not that bad.
Right, he wasn't. It's just like I think that adding Graham Barton out of Duke in the draft, great pick. They needed that on the interior of their offensive line, right? Adding Bucky Irving with Rachaad White and even Sean Tucker. Now you have 3 young running backs you can rely on. And in my opinion, Bucky Irving is the future of that backfield. And on the defensive side of the ball, they were top 10 against the run, right? That defense was really solid. The only problem was they were bottom 3 against the pass. However, they were bend but don't break team on defense. They allowed the 9th most yards, but the 7th least points. So this defense, they would allow the opposition to move down to the field, but when it came to scoring points, it was hard to come by against this Tampa Bay defense. I do think that they do need to add some more beef to that defense, especially they need to have another guy at linebacker, at off-ball linebacker with Levante David. I mean, he's getting up there. You know, how many years do you have left with him? They thought Devin White was going to be the guy. He was his first year, but after that kind of trailed off, and now he's in Philly. I do like the addition of Chris Braswell in the draft. I think that as an edge rusher, he is a perfect scheme fit for this team. Lining up alongside 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀 and Joe Tryon, I think that those guys off the edge will provide some juice. And I like 𝗕𝘂 Smith in the secondary out of West Virginia. I think that these are
also out of Georgia.
Well,
yes, played at West Virginia, but then transferred. He played at West Virginia.
Yes.
I interviewed him.
Yeah. I guess I kind of think of him as a West Virginia player, but yes, he did transfer. And this team, I could see them maybe getting like 7 wins. I think this team is going to be similar to the Jets, but for different reasons. I think this is a team who really could beat anyone. I have them beating Philly, right? Like, I think this is a team who like, they can contend with anyone as long as the defense holds up their end of the bargain. Their offense, you know, it may not seem like it's this like fireworks, like every single drive offense like Miami, but if their defense keeps them in games, their offense is generally going to be able to keep pace. They just need an improved running game, right? Bucky Irving is there to do that, to bring efficiency and like bring like really just a dynamicism, if that's even a word, that, you know, Rachaad White had, but I think to a higher degree, right? The offensive line needs to take a step forward, especially the interior, because we know that Tristan Wirfs is one of the best in the biz. So I think if they can fix that up, the running game, then this team is going to be really scary for anyone who they play against. They play against some teams with offensive firepower, just aside from Philly. They play Dallas, they play Kansas City, San Francisco, they play the Chargers, they play Atlanta twice this season, they play Detroit. I mean, even Denver could be, you know, you don't know what you have in them. So this is a team that it's a lot of question marks kind of up in the air, right? So with that though, ECG, you know, we have them at 10-7, number 1 in the division. If you're putting money on it, that's the one. I know we had a little bit of a wide range there, but 10-7 is the ECG record prediction.
Tony out here trying to mess up the the data over here, being the outlier. No, I'm kidding.
And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell notification so you're always notified.
All right. Well, the 12. Oh my god. That's what I'm saying. At this point, like, bro, you just gotta just be you, bro. Just be you, bro.